Chinese President Hu Jintao has called for free trade and investment liberalization during his address at the Asia-Pacific Economic Summit in Singapore. The Chinese leader has also put forward a four-point proposal to boost economic growth and revive the world economy. For more on this, I'm now joined by financial expert Max Keiser, who is in Paris. Hello to you, Mr. Keiser. Now, is China trying to reduce its dependency on the U.S. as trading partner?
Sure, China would love to reduce its dependency on the U.S., and dependency is a good word. The U.S. dollar has become the opium of international trade, and China is addicted to U.S. opium dollars. Remember, the U.S. loaned China over $1 trillion so that China would be able to export lots of products back to America, but America has absolutely no intention whatsoever of repaying China that $1 trillion. America will never pay China back that $1 trillion, and they're forcing China to buy more dollars to keep their own currency from rising, thus killing their export market. That's why China is buying lots of this stuff, gold bullion. They can't get enough of gold bullion. India's buying gold bullion. China's buying gold bullion as a way to hedge themselves against these things. This is Warren Buffett toilet paper. Warren Buffett toilet paper here, the U.S. dollar. It's going to zero, and China has got itself into a conundrum because their entire economy is based on U.S. consumers buying Chinese products financed by the U.S. Moving a tremendous amount of paper through the system, and that paper is now becoming worthless.
Well, speaking about the economic situation in the country and the Chinese attempt to weather the economic crisis, how important is the stimulus of domestic demand in China in relation to that?
Well, it's very important to try to get their economy going with their domestic stimulus program. But they are building a lot of worthless projects. If you look at some of the projects they're involved with, they are what are really you could call ghost cities. Their GDP numbers are a bit inflated. And they are trying desperately to manage their domestic economy and to grow their domestic economy. They're doing a lot more trade with countries like Japan and South Korea, again, to get themselves away from this U.S. dollar dependency. You know, it wasn't only back in the 1850s or so when China was hooked on opium as part of the opium wars that were in progress with the United Kingdom. This is kind of a current version of the opium wars, but instead of the opium, America is getting China addicted to this worthless piece of paper. And they can't get enough of them because they have a dependency on U.S. dollars. And they need to get over their U.S. dollar dependency one way or another. And as you point out, they're trying to increase their domestic economy. They're doing business with other countries outside of America, including Japan and South Korea. And they're buying this stuff, gold bullion, as is India and other countries, to extricate these countries from the stronghold of worthless U.S. dollars.
Okay. Well, China and the U.S. have a complex trade relationship. So in this connection, how effective will President Obama's visit to China be in ending the numerous trade snipes between the two countries?
Well, Barack Obama is not going with much in terms of leverage to try to get any of these partners to the table in any meaningful way, unless he wants to sell China California, which I would imagine Governor Schwarzenegger would be ready to sell China California as a way to try to rebalance the incredible imbalances between these two countries. Other than that, or selling China all of America's roads, tunnels, and bridges, or something of value, the only thing Barack Obama has are more dollars. And the Federal Reserve and the Treasury and Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan are happy to just keep printing dollars. And so China is forced to buy dollars as a way to prevent their own currency from rising, which would cut off their export market. So, yes, it's a very intricate relationship, but China is still dependent on the U.S. Situation in terms of their markets, and they're scrambling desperately to get out from underneath this dependency and to recover, to become really, they should start a program in China called Americans Anonymous, which would be a program to get themselves over their dependency and addiction to American dollars and the American economy.
All right, Mr. Keiser, of course we can talk about this a lot more, but that's all we have the time for. Thank you very much indeed for your views. That was Max Keiser, financial expert and former stockbroker.